Conan the Barbarian starts off with the father giving his young son some helpful advice.
No one in this world can you trust. Not men, not women, not beasts. This you can trust.
Later you see their village being savagely attacked and most of the villagers killed, including Conan's father. As most of the villagers are slaughtered, most choosing death over giving in to their fate by being captured. Conan's mother makes a valiant stand at the end. As the leader of the soldiers approach her, his name is Thulsa Doom, played by James Earl Jones. He has a disarming approach to her that seems to mesmerize and hypnotize her, but just at the end, he turns and beheads her right in front of her son, leaving him mesmerized. As a young Conan watches Thulsa Doom behead his mother right in front of him, his young mind can't comprehend immediately what's going on. And then he's condemned with the other children to become Thulsa Doom's slaves in one of his slave camps. The young children are then led off to one of these excruciating camps where they endure unimaginable horrors as the young Conan, ever growing and ever getting stronger while at the slave camp, reminisces about his family. He's bent on revenge as he becomes a young man, and a strong and vengeful one at that. He's now thinking of Thulsa Doom and what he did. He never forgot. As the decades pass by, it almost seems as if he's been forgotten about when one of the soldiers returns. He eventually lets Conan go.
Sit here. Sit here.
As the soldier tries to give Conan orders, he's now become a hulk of a man and is bent on avenging his family, but eventually complies and is eventually sold into fighting. However, he starts to win most of his fights.
He was taken to the east, a great prize. Language and writing were made available.
As Conan progressed, his slave owners began to wonder whether they created a monster.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good.
Eventually, the slave master became so impressed with Conan, he released him into the wilderness, where he stumbled about for so long before finding a cave with some sort of a burial site.
Crom.
As Conan reviews Crom's crypt, he's overwhelmed. However, he gathers a few artifacts. As Conan continues to roam through the wilderness, he eventually comes across a village with a lady who seemingly can help with who killed his family. However, there's more to this lady than meets the eye.
A symbol. Perhaps on a shield. Two snakes coming together.
As Conan continues to try and investigate what happened to his family and find out how much she knows, the woman becomes increasingly more and more seductive towards him, eventually seducing him. However, this encounter reveals who she really is, which is a witch. As the witch continues to try and devour Conan, he throws it into the fire. After this, Conan comes across a thief named Subutai who says he can help him find Thulsa Doom. And so their quest begins across many lands. They come across many settlements and eventually negotiating themselves through various trade deals and sometimes just punching their way through. Eventually coming across a beautiful thief who joins their party and also catches Conan's eyes. They eventually come across King Oswald, who has a task for them. He needs his daughter picked up who's been hypnotized by Thulsa Doom and offers them riches to get her back. He's furious.
She follows him as a slave, seeking for the truth of her soul, as if I could not give it to her.
After this, Conan and his companion ride through the wilderness determined to find and kill Thulsa Doom and bring back the king's daughter. Eventually coming across corpses of former soldiers who died with their horses. You see, Thulsa Doom is the leader of a snake cult and has thousands of followers hypnotized following him and his demonic ways. And eventually Conan is vetted out and caught.
Steel isn't strong, boy. Flesh is stronger. Look around you. There, on the rocks, that beautiful girl.
As Thulsa Doom commands the young lady to her death, she doesn't even flinch at his sick command.
That is power.
Crucify him.
As Conan is taken out to a desolate tree, he starts having delusional thoughts, and a vulture hangs around him as if it's waiting for him to die. Conan, on the brink of death, continues to have delusional thoughts until just then, over the horizon, his friends come to his rescue, or so they think. They have to eventually enlist the help of well, I'll let you figure that out. Let's just say the doctor at the time somehow revived Conan, allowing him to continue on his quest for vengeance and revenge for his family against Thulsa Doom. Conan recovers and becomes even stronger. As Conan fully recovers and the group travels across more plainlands, they finally reach Thulsa Doom's lair and find that some sort of rated X movie is going on. And if that's not enough, Thulsa Doom decides he wants to snake around and disappear, eventually changing into a reptile snake and slithering away. It appears that Thulsa Doom is used to making this escape this way. And then you see Conan and his friends trying to save the king's daughter who's under Thulsa Doom's spell. As Conan and his companions continue to fight their way out, Thulsa Doom assembles his men and then goes on a cliff, uses his powers with a snake, and after using black magic to convert the snake into an arrow, he fires it at Conan's female companion. As the poison from the venomous snake seeps into Conan's companion's veins, Thulsa Doom just politely straightens the arrow back out into a snake. The next morning, his love interest and companion has succumbed to her injuries. He and the male companion set up a trap for Thulsa Doom's men.
Crom, I've never prayed you before.
All that matters is that two stood against many. That's what's important. Balor pleases you, Crom.
As Conan continues to discuss his fate with Crom, he has one more wish.
So grant me one request. Grant me revenge. And if you do not listen, then to hell with you.
And at this point, all hell breaks loose. Eventually, Conan outsmarts Thulsa's men, resulting in one of them horrifically getting impaled. And after all they've done, you really don't feel sorry. And just as Conan looks at him, he's attacked viciously by his partner. And as Thulsa Doom's largest bodyguard attacks Conan and you think it's over for him, this happens. The spirit of his female companion makes one more appearance. It was at this moment Conan felt invincible, but he had one more task, Thulsa Doom. And by using instructions from the now sane-thinking princess, he found him.
Burn you the way to paradise!
But just as Thulsa Doom is finishing his speech, a boy who has now become a man bent on revenge walks up behind him. But using his cunning, he tries to hypnotize him.
My child, you have come to me, my son. Who gave you the will to live? What will your world be without me, my son?
And Conan looks like he's going for it, but then says nope. And then proceeds to behead the man, tossing his body off the cliff and exposing his head, showing that he was mortal. And after displaying the head to the crowd to show that he was human, it just rolls down, dispersing the crowd, seemingly on their own. And as the crowd disperses, you see Thulsa Doom's palace up in flames and the movie ends. In closing, could you conceptually believe Conan the Barbarian 2025? Perhaps Arnold Swarzenegger would reprise the role? As a grandfather, maybe? Probably not. But it's a good thought, right? Please like, share, and subscribe to Where in the World is Frank and Gina on YouTube. Simply type in our first names, Frank and Gina, to get to our channel. We sincerely hope you enjoyed our movie recap of Conan the Barbarian, the original 1982 version, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and the late James Earl Jones. Rest in peace, sir. God bless. Take care.